Hey everybody, the Harland Highway 100,000 subscriber plaque is on its journey. Yes, you, the faithful pavement pounders who have decided to take the plaque under your wing, have begun moving it across the United States. Went from California and now it's in Texas. Let's take a look at the first video, and thank you everyone for being on board, and thanks for subscribing. Subscribe.
Is that a wild plaque? Oh, we got that pecan butter. We're about to go shred with the plaque, taking it out on the water. We've got a little life jacket for it, just making sure it fits. It's gonna be sick. He fell down, but we saved him! Little baby Harland fell in the water once, but I had fun.
I hit a buoy.
Did you ever shoplift at Walgreens?
Yep.
What'd you get? What'd you nab?
Plan B.
No way.
Yep.
Wow, it's my favorite science fiction movie. I shoplifted 2 breast pumps about a week ago.
Did.
Yeah, and holy God, am I dry.
Yeah.
Like, just sucked me dry.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, good Lord.
Are you, did you have a baby?
I didn't have a baby, but I just, you know, just for fun in the summer, I like to lactate.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel if I release my milk,
Uh-huh.
if I get a couple of pumps on there and just
Right.
let them suck all through the night,
Right.
like that all through the night.
You have to shave that chest hair to get a good proper suction with the cups?
You don't. These things, they could suck a blueberry pie through a fucking Waffle House. Like, they're really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're riding down the Harland Highway.
All right, hold tight on the Harland Highway show.
Harland Williams.
See, I don't know geography.
What's the capital of New York State?
New York.
Nope.
Hold on. Capital of New York State is, whoa. Oh, man, I don't know geographies, guy, but let me, Yonkers?
Albany.
Albany.
Yeah.
Ebony and Albany live together in perfect harmony. Okay.
Tulsa. Tacoma.
Oh, Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma, Washington.
Got it.
Not the capital. What's the capital of Washington?
Oh, that would be Washington, Seattle.
Oh,
Is it Seattle?
it is. They just changed it
I got
a couple
one.
minutes ago.
I got one, guy.
Are we recording?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
let's start. But do you want to plug some things?
I don't know if we're going or not.
Oh, yeah, we're going.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tulsa, Tacoma, Philly, Philadelphia.
Philly?
We got Kansas City,
These are your comedy tour dates.
Tempe,
Tempe, Arizona.
San Francisco,
Oh, right.
Cleveland.
Town. Yeah.
Cleveland.
Ohio.
FitzDog.com for tickets.
Fitz what? FitzDog?
FitzDog.com.
For tickets. Go see this kid in action. Stand-up comic extraordinaire. And we're going to talk about, as the show progresses, if you don't bolt,
Yeah.
you did a comedy special.
I did.
That just came out.
It just came out 3 weeks ago. And
What's it called, guy?
it's called You Know Me.
Okay.
And, you know, it's dedicated to the people that know me, but also maybe don't know me, and they're going to get to know me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shouldn't it be called? Okay, yeah. I shouldn't tell. I shouldn't tell you what your special should be called.
Well, it's a little late for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it should just be called Everyone Should Know Me, but
Yeah.
the way you described it. But maybe it's your special.
Hey, look, you go to YouTube. It's free. That's the best part about it. I mean, what is
that should have been the title of it.
It's free.
It's Greg FITZSIMMONS. It's free.
FITZSIMMONS?
Well, it's my show. I mean, and I'm making up the title now, too. So if I want to,
and my name.
If I want to alter your name, Fitzgerald, I'll do it. But don't you think that really should have been it? Greg FITZSIMMONS. It's free. Like, you're going to do well with that title. Wow. It's like if McDonald's, it's free.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd be lineups all the way to Dolly Parton's fucking House of Nightmares.
Well, I think people want to pay for stuff. I don't think they take stuff seriously. Look, you've worked certain chain clubs over the years.
Sure.
And often they have a lot of seats.
Yeah.
And on an off night, you don't sell it out, and then they release free passes.
Oh, yeah.
And those people don't take the show seriously.
Yeah, that's true. They're not as diehard comedy fans. They're just like, oh, we got a thing for a free ticket. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They're not, which isn't to say some might show up and go, oh, this is way better than we expected.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a percentage that go, yeah, we're just here having drinks. We're having a laugh. Who's that guy?
Yeah.
You know?
It's almost like, you know, they're not expecting to laugh. They're expecting to eat chicken wings and have a couple of what do you call those glasses that have they're made of like brass or copper, and they put alcohol in them.
Semiconductors? What do you mean they're made of brass?
Moscow mules.
Oh,
What are those cups made of?
you said copper.
I think it's copper.
Okay. How was the comedy show? Great. Once I get over the lip cancer. Who drinks out of copper? What are you, the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz?
It used to be lead. Yeah.
It used to be lead?
And you know what his dream was? To have a glass.
Huh?
Everybody in the Wizard of Oz had another dream.
What?
To have a heart, to have a brain, to have courage.
What was the other one?
To just have a glass instead of a copper cup.
Speaking of Wizard of Oz, and my show, I dive in personal.
Yeah.
Have you ever made love so hard that your legs roll up, like when that witch dropped, when the house dropped on that witch?
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, that sounds very visceral. That sounds like what I have felt like on the inside, but it hasn't physically happened yet. Yeah.
You know you're making good love that when you achieve, your legs just curl up. Remember the witch's legs when the house dropped on her and she had the little striped pantyhose and her legs just curled up like Fritos corn chips?
Speaking of which, I asked you for a beverage.
Yeah.
And rather than get it for me, which a lot of hosts will do, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, not me.
You said you know where the fridge is.
Right.
Like this was an 80s bro movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to your refrigerator and I opened it up to get one of these Waterloo grapes.
Yeah.
And I saw a half-eaten bag of corn chips.
Oh, yeah, Fritos.
But
Barbecue.
Who puts a half-eaten bag of corn chips in the refrigerator? Is that like a big plan for later?
I do because of the ants.
Uh-huh.
I get ants.
No, but who doesn't finish? It's not a large bag. It's a fun-size bag.
Yeah, it was fun.
And you only ate, it's almost all air.
I want the fun to last.
Yeah.
So I'll keep it in there 3-4 weeks.
Oh.
I eat about 3 corn chips a day just because it's so fun.
Right.
I just want the fun. I don't want the fun to end, fun guy.
But what about the discipline that takes? Because, remember the old commercial for Fritos Lay's? Bet you can't eat just one.
Oh,
and you can eat 3.
Hey, bet you can't just eat fun, is how I say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yep.
You know what? I'll roll them around in my mouth. And have you ever worked at a senior center?
Naturally.
These corn chips, the way they curl up, they kind of remind me of like the old folks' toenails. Because one thing when I worked at the senior center, you can do a group sponge bath. You can have 8 or 9 oldies in the tub.
Yeah.
And no matter how much you scrub their skin and, loofah off the psoriasis and the welts, one thing that the protein of a nail, an 89-year-old toenail, just the way it curls and the yellow shading really does look like a corn chip. And the only way to really clean it and get underneath it is to just suck on the end of it.
Suck on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And gnaw. You gotta like
gnaw.
a gopher. You gotta get a couple or a beaver. I guess that's a beaver, right?
Like, gopher, beaver, muskrat, capybara sometimes when you get a real a biggie. You gotta go capybara.
And
the biggest of all the rodents, by the way, live in the Amazon.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know about the cappies?
I didn't know you knew things about geography.
Well, I don't know things about geography, but I do know about the rodent family because I do care about old people and I work up at the senior center.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'll scrub them down until you have senior soup.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever looked at the bath water after a group sponge bath, but take your best clam chowder you've ever had and I'll hold that water up to it any day. And come on.
And there's little pieces of clam floating around.
Little pieces of clam.
Not just the broth.
Oh.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. When you've had a nice clam chowder, because you're from Boston,
well,
you ever get a piece? Well, same area. I don't know geography.
Greg FITZSIMMONS
from
Life on Page from Boston.
But what I was saying is you'll get a clam chowder, a great New York clam chowder, let's say.
What's called Manhattan.
Manhattan. I don't know geography. And then you get a senior's clam chowder, and the senior's clam chowder, some of the clams will have a hair in them, which you won't get in a good Boston or New York or Manhattan chowder.
That's true. And the thing is, it's not pubic hair because those fell out decades ago. That's an eyebrow. You know how the eyebrow and ear hairs get extremely long.
Oh,
that's
God.
what it is.
Yeah. Or it's like a mole, and it's sort of when you scrub, it comes off, and there's a hair sticking out.
Yeah. I had a great aunt.
Oh no.
No, she's still alive.
Okay, great.
I say past tense because I no longer speak to her.
So she's not that great, really.
She's a mediocre aunt.
Yeah.
And she has a blackhead on her cheekbone.
Racist.
That just keeps getting bigger every year.
Sure she's not a great white aunt? Sorry, go ahead.
And I want so bad to pop it because I know that it would be hard and long and tubular.
Like the pus?
Well, the pus is hard at that point. When it's been a blackhead that long, you could just pull it out with pliers and it would leave a gaping hole in her cheek.
And it wouldn't even come out as liquid. It would come out. You ever buy a glue or a tube of caulking and you leave it for like 2 or 3 years and then you pull it out and it's solidified?
Yeah.
That would be, the pus would be like a solid, like almost like a miniature log cake for an elf.
Like a hard cock.
Yeah. Yeah, like I guess you got to call it what it is. I did say like a tube of caulking and then hard. It's like you're pulling a hard caulk out of your great aunt's face.
Right.
White.
And she would rather you put one in.
Whoa, how great is this aunt?
She's about to get better.
It sounds like it.
Wait a minute, you want to meet her?
Would
is that what you're saying?
Would I? How big is the pus hole? Wow.
Oh my God. You'd really be getting head. Literally be getting head.
Yeah.
Not mouth.
Wow,
head.
just head.
Yeah.
Right in the cheek.
Oh.
God.
And then when you were done, she's got another one on the other side. She turned her other cheek.
Turn the other cheek.
And then you could do it to that side too.
God. Yeah. How old do you think the blackhead is? Like,
it's been decades.
Really?
She's in her 90s. It's been decades.
Have you ever said anything to her?
No, nobody does. That's the thing.
But you can see that underneath it, there's like some pus.
You just see that it's black and it's, it's a pimple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? You get to a certain age and people just go, yeah. They're eating dinner. Oh, there's a fly on your face. That's all right. Right.
It's going to be a lot of flies on her face in about 7 weeks.
Yeah, they drop the N-word and you're like, oh, normally I'd correct somebody, but what are we going to do?
The oldie dropped the N-word?
No, but she did say the C word.
Oh.
About Fox. I remember there was a certain time in like the 90s where Fox had all black shows. It was like Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah,
and I think the Waynes had a show.
Yeah.
And she goes, I can't watch. She's from Ireland.
Oh.
I can't watch that Fox. It's nothing but sea people.
So she replaced The N with the C?
Well, you know, the other word for black people starts with a C.
It does?
Well, it did in like the
Caucasian?
1950s.
I don't know this one.
Think of like the NAACP.
Okay.
That word, that C. Which I can't even. Here's the weird thing: is
Canoe? I don't know this one.
Jesus Christ.
This is a new one. We don't want if it's a derogatory racist word. We can't say it.
Well, we can't say.
But I didn't even know there was another one.
You
As
can
if
write,
the N word isn't bad enough. There's another one.
There's an older.
There's an
one.
N word pie.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, is there another one for honky? Is there another layer to honky?
Cracker.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you got cracker.
So we have a pie for honky too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever been called a honky cracker, like the double?
I don't think so. Not to my face.
Yeah, I get it all the time.
Do you?
Oh, when I'm on the bus.
Yeah.
Oh, get out of the seat there, honky cracker. And these are other white people talking to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dude, well, your aunt, holy Irish, huh?
Yeah, Irish.
Irish, using the racist words. But the thing in Ireland, the C word is also, it's a term of endearment there. Oh, you sweet C word.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
Oh,
what a C word he
Yeah.
is.
I think you're thinking of a different C word than me.
Oh, I don't know the other C word then. The C word's the derogatory.
Thing for black people. It didn't used to be derogatory.
Can you give me the last letter on the C?
D.
CD? Why have I never heard this? I don't think I want to hear it.
I don't know if you're being serious. I
I'm
can never
totally
tell if you're being
serious.
serious or not.
I've never heard this
Have
before.
you heard of a group called the NAACP?
Yeah, but I don't know what it stands for.
Okay.
What's it stand for?
Isn't this insane? I can write a check to this particular organization.
Yeah.
Because it is
The N double what?
NAACP.
NAACP.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea, but National Athletic.
National Association for the Advancement of C People.
Oh, colored.
Yes.
What is that?
I
Wait,
don't know.
That's
I
bad
don't know
to
if you can
say?
I don't know.
You can say colored people,
I
can't
guess
you?
so. I guess so.
We're all colored.
Yeah.
What's interesting, though, is I think we're colored wrong.
Yeah.
Like, they call us white, and I think we're a bad shade of pink, if I'm being honest.
Right.
They call black people black, but most black people I've seen are a beautiful shade of golden brown, or a darker light shade of brown. I don't think I've ever seen a black person's that is specifically as black as this.
Yeah.
Chinese people, Asian people, I wouldn't say are yellow. They're sort of, I don't know, a little bit kind of off eggshell white, maybe.
Yeah. And they call Latinos brown people, and they're more like deep tan people.
Yeah, they're more like bronze, like golden.
Yeah, bronze.
And then you got Indian people, Native American, indigenous people they call red skin. And they don't look red to me.
Yeah.
They look sort of more bronzy, like golden, very fall colors.
And really, albinos are the white. They're white.
They're the whites.
They're absolutely white.
They're the honky
Have you ever
crackers.
known an albino?
I do.
And I'm saying that thinking in my head right now that you probably aren't supposed to say that word anymore.
Albino?
I bet you there's a different word for it now.
Their word is, here's the thing. My thing with an albino, I thought it was a ghost.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this person. And
you thought it was a ghost?
I thought it was a ghost. I thought the albino was a ghost.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure because, this ghost albino was walking, the terrestrial plane with the rest of us.
Yeah.
And you could see people were a little off-putting, and then I went, it's a ghost. And I grabbed the freak by the arm, and I tried to throw it through the drywall, because, ghosts go through walls.
They go right through walls.
And smashed. The thing just went down.
That's when you knew.
And I knew it was an albino.
The albino test. It's like making a witch float.
Yeah. All you can do with an albino is you try and throw them through a wall.
Yeah.
And if they don't go through, that's an albino.
Yeah.
Or a honky cracker, as I call them.
And the funny thing is, they'll bleed when they hit the wall and leave red. And you're like, color just came out of nothing.
Right.
Out of no color, you have a bright red.
Right. And what's interesting in the color chart, if you study the color chart as an artist, black and white, which seems to be the polarizing colors in this country that often cause tension and racial apparently black and white are not officially colors. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
They're officially not considered
it's the
colors.
negation of color, and it's clear.
Because neither of them can hold one another. So they're officially not colors, but everything in between is.
Interesting.
So basically, you and me and black people and other white people don't even really exist. So rightfully, we should be called pink and brown.
Yeah.
I think.
I like that.
Pink and brown.
Yep.
Pink and brown and harmony, live together in perfect harmony. Isn't that funny? The only word we couldn't get on pitch was harmony. We're the worst pinks I've ever met.
I am such a bad pink.
You're a bad pink.
I'm jealous of a brown right now.
Yeah, you're like a jive pink.
Yeah.
Cracker pink. Dirty cracker pink. Yeah. By the way, speaking of different entities, I've always wanted to ask you, what's your spirit animal? Do you have a spirit animal? You?
My spirit animal is I love birds.
Oh.
Yeah, I've always loved birds. If I had to pick a specific bird, I'd say a blue jay. Blue jays make my heart sing. I get so happy when I see a blue bird or a blue jay.
Just the color blue. You're really into colors today.
But I like, a blue bird. They're considered.
Are they really blue?
People are racist against the bluebirds.
Are they blue? Or are they an off shade of
They're magenta.
Mauve? Magenta.
Yeah.
Magenta jay.
Yeah.
Why the blue jay, though? What is it that particular bird stirs your heart, stirs your soul?
It feels like you don't see it until the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an harbinger of spring.
Oh, I like that word, harbinger.
Yeah.
Can you say that? Can you define that? Because a lot of my viewers might never not have heard that word. I don't hear that one bantered around much.
Yeah.
If you could just tell us what harbinger means.
Is this you trying to put me on the spot as if you don't think that I really know what the word
No.
means?
I think it's a beautiful, flowery, eloquent word.
All right, it's harbinger.
You don't hear it a lot.
Yeah.
And so if you could sort of...
It's an omen. It's a sign.
Of things to come or things that will be or might be?
Yeah.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah. It signals something that's coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to admit, it's a flowery word. It sort of took me off my game for a second.
I know.
Like, I did not expect to hear that word today.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, in the last 20 years of my life, maybe 30, I don't know if I've ever heard another human utter that word.
Really?
Like, I know it's in the vocabulary. I know it's in the dictionary.
Yeah.
It's not that uncommon to see when you're reading literature.
Uh-huh.
But to hear another human being just injected into a sentence,
right?
That was very disarming, but in the most beautiful way. I loved the flow of it.
Yeah.
I loved the way it just fell into place with you.
It didn't feel forced.
Didn't feel forced. It was just wow.
When I rehearsed it in the car driving over here, I really thought about, don't oversell it.
Yeah.
Just let it flow with the sentence.
Dude. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Yep.
Or increased pressure on the top of it with a hammer.
Yeah.
No, that didn't really work. I was trying to be flowy and descriptive, but sorry.
Well, I was an English major in college, so I feel like once in a while I should justify that money that my father spent.
Is there a word you ever toss around that you knowingly have in the chamber that's kind of a, let me toss? That one was just organic, but is there one in the chamber that you sort of toss out there now and then, and it's definitely one you pop in to sort of elevate your game a bit? What is
Pedantic.
it? Whoa, what is it?
Pedantic.
I've heard that, but I'm going to sound like an idiot. Like, I didn't know geography.
Yeah.
I didn't know the other one you just did. Arbinger and pedantic. Can you tell us what that one is?
No idea.
Okay. So it's just sort of a cosmetic play? Like just...
I don't know, the cosmetic is the word.
Well, that's one of my words.
Yeah.
That was my word that I...
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe for your show, we should have like a game show where it goes ding, 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 like that was the word of the day.
Right.
Maybe before the podcast. Here's an idea.
Okay.
You ask your listeners to mail in or email.
Them?
Do you have... Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have email associated with this show? Okay.
Yeah.
Have them email in secret words of the day. And then you give your guest one to pick out of a hat they keep to themselves.
Right.
You pick one out of the hat. You have your assistant do it so you're not familiar with the words that have come in.
Okay. Total mystery.
And then you each have to use that word during the podcast, and the other person has to guess and stop and go, that was the word. And if they do, they win $5 from the other guy.
But is it an
Or a woman.
Or a woman. Let's be pedantic here.
Yep.
Now, is it a thing where because the word is so obviously uncommon in the conversation that immediately, boom, someone gets it? Like if you're like, oh, I was at the park the other day. I can't believe the amount of sand in that sedimentary bank over there. You know,
Right.
does that, it's, oh, gee, sedimentary.
Well, I think it would feel like, number one, are they forcing it? Are they using it out of context with the conversation? And also, is this a C+ student using an A- word?
Yeah.
And you get to call it 3 times in the program, and then you're done. You can't guess, and you can't call it on them anymore. And you could send up false flags. You could say the word scintillating.
Oh.
And the person might call you on it. You go, no, that wasn't it.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, next time you're here, we're going to do this game.
Okay, great.
I sort of wish we'd done it today because you've already dropped like 3 power bombs on me.
I know.
Okay, so the blue jay is your spirit animal. Do you have a spirit sexual position?
Yeah.
What is it?
I usually have the pillow under my right arm,
Okay.
and I have the computer on my chest. And that way, I don't need my glasses because I don't feel sexy with my glasses on.
Right.
So I need it right up under my chin,
Okay.
tucked under my chin.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're watching. What are you watching on your computer, if you don't mind me asking?
Blue jays. Flocks and flocks of blue jays.
It's a lot of flocking.
Yeah, they're flocking. It's flocking season. Wow. Yeah.
And last question, have you ever flown Spirit Airlines?
Yes.
Great. Okay, let's move on.
Spirit Airlines is the one. They were the first ones to start going like, all right, you're going to have to pay to put your bag over your head.
That was them?
They were the first ones to do it. And
Jewish bonnets.
And they were the first ones to say you got to pay to sit in a better seat. I mean, there was always first class business and coach.
Yeah.
They were the first ones to start delineating
Whoa, bro.
between different sections.
Was that?
That was the word.
Ding, 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 ding. Delineating. Just, look, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Ruth Rumble Teeth over in Calabasas, and then we got Paul Parsnip Nipples over in. If you could tell them what that means.
Well, it's of or being related to Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
Delineating.
Yeah.
Delineating.
Good. Great.
Yeah.
And I knew that, but they didn't.
No.
Okay,
Well,
so
they don't go to the comedy store.
yeah. But okay, so then they started doing all these little pocket things at Spirit Airlines.
And then they started charging you for a cup of coffee or a 7-Up.
Right.
And then they started charging for checking in earlier as opposed to at the airport.
Really?
They charge for the bathroom now. And it's...
No, they don't.
Yes, there's different charge for a number 1 or a number 2. 1 is $1 and a number 2 is $2.
Is it $1 per log, or is it like
No,
if
the dollar is for a number 1.
But
two
let's
is
say you
for
do a
lot.
number 2,
Yeah.
but you drop like a multi-log versus one log.
No, no,
do they charge you per Lincoln log?
No, they used to do that, but I think the flight attendants took umbrage with having to be in the stall.
And doing the count. Yeah. Umbrage.
Yeah.
For them, please. I know what umbrage is, but if you could.
It's in the shade of the color umber.
Dude, you are on a roll today.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they charge for you to crack a lemonade and pinch a loaf.
To pinch a loaf.
Wow. How much is it? $2 for a
loaf?
loaf?
$1 for a lemonade.
Yeah.
And then around the corner, chocolate made is $2. Yeah. Who is your audience? Who listens to this?
No, but I have 7. I have 7. Probably down to 6. Probably down to 6.
But there's 6 good people.
There
are people. Yeah.
They're good Spirit Airways flying folk.
That's right. Yeah.
So wait, what was that one? Is you make the lemonade.
Yeah.
And then what was the second?
Around the corner, chocolate's made.
That's the beauty of kids, right?
Yeah.
Only kids can come up.
Yeah.
Like that was never uttered by an adult.
No.
It was like probably children 8 years and
It
under.
was milk, lemonade, round the corner, chocolate made, stick your finger up the hole, something, Tootsie Roll. Now you got a Tootsie Roll.
Oh, my God.
Isn't it funny that my brain,
Yeah.
okay, which is not giant, it's the size of a hand.
I wouldn't say that big.
A baby's hand.
Yeah, baby's hand, yeah.
And it has the ability to store that, which I have not accessed. It's been in the hard drive for maybe 47 years without me thinking it or
Right.
saying it, and yet I can recall it from the hard drive this many years later.
And that, my friend, is the beauty of being on the Harland Highway podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It took us a while to get to the theme song, but we
You mean
got
we weren't
there.
recording any of this?
We were recording,
Yeah.
but we didn't hit the theme song because we got so caught up in the wordplay. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Fitzsimmons is here again, a pod favorite here on the Harland Highway podcast, a comedian, actor, writer, and just dropped a brand new comedy special free on YouTube.
Well, it's called You Know Me on YouTube.
You know me on YouTube.
and it is free.
And it is free.
Yeah.
And check it out. Hey, everybody. Check out my merchandise at harbling.com. Yeah, most people just slap some letters or images on a t-shirt or a hoodie, but not me. Yours truly. Guess what? I draw my own designs. At harbling.com, you can see tons of my hand-drawn t-shirts. You can either buy the original or you can buy a print. And man, oh man, wear them loud and proud. I love making these designs for you guys and keeping it personal. So check out the whole catalog. We got hoodies, we got coffee mugs, we got t-shirts, you name it, it's there at harbling.com. Get your Harland original design, wearable art at harbling.com today. And thank you for your support, and I'll just keep the groovy images coming. How's it doing? Is it you put it up a few weeks back?
Put it up 3 weeks ago. It just hit 325,000
Dude.
views, which is pretty good, right?
And add 7 from this.
That's 325,007.
Dude.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's pretty monster.
I don't know. It's just the best part, honestly,
Yeah.
is, and I'm being serious about this, is
Yeah.
that I reached out to all my friends that have podcasts that
Yeah.
I care about, the ones
Yeah.
that I love, and
Yeah.
all of you guys said, "Come on,
Yeah.
you
Of
welcome
course.
me," and
Yes.
and it makes me feel like I haven't had much to promote in a while since the
Okay.
pandemic. I've pretty
Yeah.
much just been laying low, doing my stand up, doing my podcast,
yeah.
and to have something to come out and give me a reason to come on everybody's podcast has been a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last month I've just been flying around the country doing podcasts.
How many would you say you've done?
21.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the 21st.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Did
Wow.
Rogan, Segura, Kreischer, Kill Tony, Shane Gillis, Ari Shafir,
Damn.
Mark Maron, Neil Brennan, Jay Okerson, David Cross. Did I say that?
David Cross? Yeah.
I got a bunch more coming up too.
That's okay. But, dude.
Adam Carolla.
Corolla. Oh, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been fun. And I feel like nothing's gotten repeated because I feel like everybody's got their own personality on a podcast.
Yeah.
And when you come on to each one, it's like its own sport.
It's its own thing. It's its own thing. It's like it's reminiscent of when you did the talk show circuit, you know, right up until about 5-6 years ago when it sort of fell off. But every late night host had their own personality, and you had to go in and adjust and learn how to have fun. And it's kind of cool. It's fun.
You remember Dick Cavett?
I remember Dick Cavett.
Dick Cavett was very erudite.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. So explain that one.
It's something that, like, if it's like a naked lesbian,
okay,
then there's a lot of air. It's like, think of airy dyke.
Oh, right.
So it means of or related to a naked lesbian.
Lesbian, airy dyke.
Yeah.
Queefing a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
Yikes.
he would sit back and he would have on Jimi Hendrix and Sly from Sly and the Family Stone.
David Bowie.
Bowie went on there.
Oh, yeah.
John Lennon went on there.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had all.
But he would go he would ask them he never tried to be cool, which was what made him so cool. He wore his kind of 70s suits. Yeah. And he sat, you know, with the female way of crossing your legs.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then he would just sort of like go deep with these people and take a lap with them.
Yeah.
You know, figure them out.
There's times when I look in the mirror and I just go, I feel like a young Dick Cavett, because that's the approach I have here on the Harland Highway. I just go deep. I get provocative. I kind of turn over all the stones. I find out about people. I find about what makes them tick, what makes the world tick. How do these ticking people fit into this moving, revolving planet we're on, socially, economically, politically? I feel like I'm just the jigsaw puzzle master. Everyone else shakes it up, and then you come on my podcast, and I slowly, over the course of an hour, as you're witnessing, sort of join all the pieces and take this collage and sort of just put it together. And when people finish at the end of a Harland Highway podcast, they just feel like, wow. Where did he pull that from? How did he join the nerve endings?
It's very much like the other hosts are one-dimensional and you're three-dimensional.
Yeah.
It's like you're attacking space, time, and matter. Yeah. And you're taking them, but you're taking your own. The thing is, you never lose yourself as you do it.
No.
Like, I feel like you've deconstructed me.
Yeah. Precisely. Yeah.
You've taken me apart and you've reassembled me. But the cement holding me back together, and I won't change. This is the new me. Yeah, I came in here, Greg Fitzsimmons, born in the Bronx, grew up in New York, supposedly in Boston. According to, now I'm from Boston. Yeah. You reassembled me with Harland cement. I will go forward for the rest of my life, effected.
Let me do a noise from you to summarize what you just said. Remember the thing on Star Trek where they'd take your particles and disassemble them and then beam you down, and then they'd reassemble?
The first fax machine.
Right. And that, well, more of like a tractor beam type of particle. But yeah, fax machine, sure.
Agree to disagree.
Well, the show was set in the future and fax machines are from the 80s.
It was the future of 1957, though.
Well, Ladies and gentlemen, the Harland Highway podcast. We're into the second half, and we're coming out strong. Buddy, let's talk about, speaking of the world and the way everything works.
Yeah.
Are we getting ruder as a society? Do you find people are getting ruder as we go along, or do you think people are politer? I won't even tip the scales. I want to hear your answer.
Interesting question.
Yeah.
Well, one could argue that in some ways we've gotten more sensitive, making normal behavior more offensive. Or you could say that we've been desensitized by being isolated in our cars and in social media, and so we're not as good at engaging as we used to be.
Wow. So there's a lot of single people around?
Huh? Oh, because they're not engaged anymore?
Well, you said they're not engaging.
Is that when you give the ring back?
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's when you throw the ring at the person during an argument. That's disengaging.
Yeah. Have you ever had an incident that sticks out in your mind when someone was utterly rude to you out in public? Was there ever a standout moment when someone was just so rude and either you went into the red zone or you were just in disbelief because they did something that was like, to you, very sort of rude and pushy?
Yeah, well, I don't know if this was pushy, but this was rude. This happened to me last week. I live in Venice.
Last week?
Yeah.
Wow, talk about a timely question. And this is what I do. This is part of how I do this.
Well, I think you were being prescient when you thought to...
Being what?
Prescient.
Wow. And I just mentioned David Bowie. And if I had mentioned Freddie Mercury... And the way you rolled into Under Pressure, that just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Everything's connecting now.
Yeah,
Everything's connecting.
Yeah.
That's part of what I do. I think I did the mime of the shaking the puzzle and the...
Yeah, the facts.
Captain's log, stardate 5793247. The Klingons have surrounded the ship and we must continue with the podcast. And I don't know why I did that, but it's part of the package, I do.
Were you time traveled back to a 1980s comedian just now?
I don't know. Maybe I'm in Kevin Pollak's underwear drawer right now in my head. I don't know.
Yeah.
I must get back to the podcast with Greg FITZSIMMONS. And I don't see, this is why this works.
Yeah.
This is why my podcast works compared to like Theo Vaughn's or Rogan's that are just sort of hanging on
in there. Yeah.
But what I do, anyways, I don't want to fluff myself up.
No, I don't think you're fluffing yourself up. I think you're pointing out what nobody else has noticed.
Right.
Like literally, not one person has noticed that yours is working.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that you do highlight it at times during the course of the podcast.
I guess someone needs to.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally, I think it's going to catch on where one or two other people are going to start to say that this podcast is working. But it has to start with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Very well said. Yeah. My God, you are on a roll today, my guy. My prince.
Yeah.
So someone was rude to you just last week.
I'm coming around the corner in Venice. And
on foot or on a bike, on a car?
I'm walking on my feet.
Okay, good choice.
And I come around a corner, and there's a young woman, and she's got a chihuahua in her hands.
Oh, God.
And I bump into her, and I go, excuse me. And then she just kind of doesn't say excuse me, just kind of nods, and I turn, and now she's walking behind me, and I'm thinking, now you got somebody behind you that you're kind of a little irritated by, and now they're behind you.
Yeah.
And then she goes, you are so cute. And I turn around, and I go, thank you. And she goes, I was talking to the dog, and I thought she said it in a way like it wasn't even a possibility that she was talking to me. Like it could have only been the dog.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I didn't know you were talking to the dog. I go, can I talk to the dog too? And she goes, naturally. And so I said, you are such a cunt. You are such a cold millennial witch. You are such a self-righteous
I just trying to help you there.
Yeah.
You just sort of got
Kinda
into a
did it.
log jam. You were floating down the river, and then bang,
Yeah.
the canoe hit some stumps. And
What was the sound? If you had to make a sound for how that bit went, what would the sound be?
remember earlier we were talking how you had to pay $2 to pinch a loaf?
Yeah.
It'd probably be the flushing part of that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
It was a fart as it was flushing?
yeah, the shit
I've done that.
farted.
Yeah.
You know, if a shit's been up an ass all this time, it should at least know how to fart because it already stinks.
Right,
you know?
right.
I mean, a piece of shit should know how to fart.
Yes.
So you were basically channeling your anger and your animosity through the Chihuahua as if you were talking to it, but the words were really meant for the ignoramus woman who used her Chihuahua as an airbag when you collided.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did the Chihuahua utter any type of noise when you? How hard was the impact when the Chihuahua was? Oh,
Yeah, which I think said it all.
yeah,
While saying so little.
yeah. Sounds like a Chihuahua queef almost.
Well, it's speaking Spanish. You have to remember that.
Okay. Do you speak
Chihuahua.
Spanish?
Yes, fluent.
No way.
Yeah.
Want to hit me with something?
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez.
Fuck. I wish I knew Spanish.
I know.
Let me tell me what you said. It's probably another flowery paragraph. Or
I just
were you
said
quoting Edgar Allan Poe or something? What was that?
No, I was talking about Kierkegaard once said that that all kitsch and bad art is derived from the denial of the existence of shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said that in Spanish, bro?
Yeah.
Bro.
Said it 10 times.
Bro, you are on fire
Yeah, I know. Fuego.
today. Whoa.
Yeah.
What's fuego?
It's a small dog.
Oh,
They call them Chihuahuas here in America.
okay. There's something I've always wanted to ask you.
Jesus, easy on those glasses. Those are Foster Grants there. You'd have to go all the way back to Walgreens to get another pair of those.
Pretty
For
much.
$9.99.
Yeah. Did you ever shoplift at Walgreens?
Yep.
What'd you get? What'd you nab?
Plan B.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Did you take it?
Yeah.
Wow, it's my favorite science fiction movie. I didn't know they... I shoplifted 2 breast pumps about a week ago.
Did.
Yeah, and holy God, am I dry.
Yeah.
Like, just sucked me dry.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, good Lord.
Are you, did you have a baby?
I didn't have a baby, but I just, just for fun in the summer, I like to lactate.
Mm-hmm.
You know how dogs pant?
Yeah.
They say that's how a dog sweats. It's like, that's how they sweat.
Yeah.
So I feel if I release my milk,
Uh-huh.
if I get a couple of pumps on there and just
Right.
let them suck all through the night,
Right.
like that all through the night. And yeah, these look like someone punched it. So it looks like someone got their assholes bleached,
Yeah.
but put too much bleach on it. So my nipples are just puckered in. But
yeah.
boy, I feel lighter.
Yep.
On my feet, I feel sort of airy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sort of cosmopolitan, ready to go.
Yeah.
Because my milk sacks are dry.
Sure.
And do I have a cold drink in the fridge for the gardener? Sure.
Uh-huh.
So it's just something I do.
Yeah. Well, I think that might be, now that you've introduced that idea out there, one of your 7 listeners is probably a perv and is probably going to do this.
A perv? Wait, would that make me a perv?
Not
No.
you, but one of the listeners.
One of the listeners
would
is
be
a perv because
Yeah.
they did something else,
that
and
you
they're going to
did.
do the jugs, pumps on top of it.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a perv for getting my boobs sucked in the middle of the night.
No.
Okay.
No, you're just a guy in a foreign land. You're from Canada, and you're trying to get your footing.
Trying to get my footing. I just want to feel light on my feet.
Yeah.
Kind of like, just want to be ready to,
Do you have to shave that chest hair to get a good, proper suction with the cups?
You don't. These things, they could suck a blueberry pie through a fucking Waffle House. Like they're really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right through the drywall of a... Have you ever been to the Waffle House?
The Waffle House?
Like the restaurant?
Well, there's a million of them.
Yeah, have you been to one?
Yeah.
Because these breast pumps, like if you put one on the wall, like the brick and mortar,
Yeah.
it would suck a blueberry pie right off the shelf and right through the drywall.
Wow.
These suckers are strong.
So if you say it's late at night, you forgot your wallet, you're out, you want some blueberry pie,
Yeah.
and you don't want to go in the restaurant with no money.
Right.
You just set up the breast pump in the back wall, like behind the
Throw
parking
it on
lot,
the wall, yeah.
and just suck it. You suck the blueberry pie right through.
Or if you're in more of a high mood, kind of a high level food, like a lobster tail, or maybe a nice marbled steak, you can put the breast pumps on your hand and literally go and climb like this. Well, you're going to laugh. Climb the side of a building up to a high-end restaurant on a rooftop and just down and dude, they're great. You got to get some breast pumps. This is how strong they are, okay? When I put them on, I'm like it's like skim milk in there.
Yeah.
By the time these suckers have pumped me dry, it's like half and half cream. Unbelievable. Some of my friends who tested it even said it reminded them of walrus milk. Yeah, because that's rich. Like those walrus babies have to put on 4 pounds a day.
How much are you getting out?
Oh, this thing's sucking like a couple of gallons a night.
No.
Yeah. And if you let it go too long, like if you let it go past where you're kind of supposed to, what they say in the manual, chocolate milk.
Oh.
Unfucking real, bro.
Oh, do you think that might be shit? Like it sucked all the moisture out of your body and now it's actually removing fecal matter?
Whoa, I didn't
Because
think
I wouldn't
of that.
give that to your friends.
I would.
Well, you'd be giving them cholera.
Well, one of them's a priest. He could use a new cholera.
Well, they like the white choleras, though.
Not the brown ones.
No.
But if he's a shitty priest...
Well, that's an
It works
oxymoron.
What'd you call me? Ladies and gentlemen. Dude, but no, this is where there's another element to what I do.
Yeah.
By the way, just so you know, this podcast goes all over the world.
No, it doesn't.
A lot of them don't. Mine goes all over.
So you've got one person in each continent.
A lot of the countries.
World.
I've got this goes out to
7 continents.
right? And this goes to Bermuda even. There's people watching in Bermuda. But I had this vision of you when I was prepping, and I do a lot of prep for this show, as you know. Something came to me, and I could be I'm willing to accept I could be inaccurate, I could be way off, but something tells me, the way we connect. Did something happen in your life where there was an accident around water? Did you witness a drowning? Did someone almost drown? Did you almost, at one point in your life, was there a water incident?
Do you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah, because I picked up on that when I was prepping.
I was trained as a lifeguard as a teenager.
Here we go.
Failed the test.
I think I sense a drowning coming.
I've saved 4 people from drowning in my life.
Get lost.
I swear to God, I've saved 4 people from drowning.
Dude, how did
4 lives.
I never knew that,
Really?
right? How would I know that?
I don't talk about it. I don't like to talk about it.
Well, we're talking about it today because
like it.
There was something channeling to me,
Really?
and maybe one of the bodies was in a channel, but it just something told me there was something. Can we talk about it? Is it sensitive?
Sure. No, I can talk about it.
Can we talk about all 4?
We'll do all 4.
What was the first life you saved?
The first one I saved was my wife's Aunt Jo, and we were down in Atlantic City, and it was like September, and the waves start to get a little choppy.
Yeah.
And old Jo, she was probably 68 at this point, maybe 70.
Is this the one with the pus hole?
No, different aunt.
Okay, because if that thing's left open, you'll drown immediately.
Well, and you go down, the right side of your head goes straight down.
Yeah.
And
fish love that
fish
pus,
love
too.
it.
You get your head underwater, and you'll He'll come up half a skull almost. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, the sharks think it's a seal.
Yeah.
It's black and shiny in the
pus
water.
meat. Yeah, they love pus meat.
And so she is used to going to the Long Island Sound where she would float on her back and there was no waves. And so she goes out in Atlantic City and she's kind of like she's an odd bird. And she's floating on her back and she gets sucked into the wave and she gets pulled out and she's going under.
Like a riptide or just like the back eddy of a wave?
Like the back eddy of a wave.
So it wasn't like a riptide that pulled her out. Okay.
No, so I dove into the water and I went out and I pulled her up to the surface, and then I used with it in life saving. It's called a cross chest carry, where you get them with their back to you and you reach across their chest.
It's also a thing, and they do in West Hollywood, a sex act.
A cross chest carry.
Yeah.
No, that's his name, cross chest Gary.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
a guy.
Go ahead.
And so I have her, and you paddle side stroke.
Side stroke, yeah.
And so I got her, and then we're fighting the waves and blah blah, and I got her into the shore.
And was she like unconscious? Was she gasping for air?
She was completely panicked, gasping for air. She would have died if I hadn't gone out and gotten her. Yeah, she would have died without a doubt.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you?
About 11.
You were 11 years
I met
old.
my wife when I was 9. No, I was probably 32.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number one.
That's number
What's
one.
The second one. This is unbelievable.
Number 2, my friend Evan Dunsky, who is a writer. He created Nurse Jackie. You ever see that on HBO?
No. I've heard of it, though.
And he was a writer on CSI for about 10 years. Really great dude. A little older than me, probably 10 years older than me.
Okay.
And we're down in Venice Beach, and we're riding boogie boards.
Okay.
And he catches a wave, and I catch a wave, and then I realize it's closing out. I don't know if you know anything about waves, but sometimes they go up and they go straight down.
Oh yeah, they kind of
they close out.
They collapse on you.
So I pull back off of the wave, and he stays on it, which means his feet come up and his head goes straight down, and he hits the bottom of the ocean, and he's unconscious, and he comes up.
Damn, I've had that.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, in many cases, it can sort of bend your back.
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
So he's unconscious, and he comes up, and I grab him, and he kind of comes to consciousness. He's going in and out of consciousness, and the waves are big, and they're crashing on us. And I get a boogie board, and I got it under him, and I'm holding him. Wow. And I'm screaming to the lifeguard. Lifeguard does not see us. There's not a lot of people on the beach. And so I
thought you were a lifeguard.
I didn't pass the test.
So you couldn't scream at yourself?
I'm a life observer more than a lifeguard.
Yeah. You're kind of like a death guard. If you didn't pass the lifeguard, you're kind of the opposite
That's
is
true.
death guard.
Yeah.
But noble effort. So you get him up on the boogie board. He starts disco dancing.
He's going in and out of consciousness. Yeah. And I paddle him in. I get him to the shore. And then he sat there, and he was concussed. I think he was concussed.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You think or you know?
Well, I mean, when you lose consciousness, most likely you were concussed.
And this is just a side tip, a safety tip for you people out there boogie boarding. Please wear a football helmet. And what was the third one? And by the way, when he got up on the boogie board, what song did you go to? Was it Casey and the Sunshine Band, the Bee Gees?
Surfing Safari by the Beach Boys.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
great.
go surfing down. Everybody's learning how. Come on a safari with me.
That's not really boogie. That's sort of like 60s.
Oh, I see.
Like boogie's more 70s disco era.
Oh, yeah. We Got the Funk by Parliament.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you sing a little bit?
We got the funk.
We
gotta get that funk.
We got the funk.
We got the funk.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe
Get
not.
out the funk.
Maybe asking you to sing wasn't. Sometimes I do a misstep on the.
Well, sometimes you harmonize with me, and it comes out better.
Are you concussed right now, do you think? Or was it him that was concussed?
I cussed earlier. I remember you had a big issue with that.
Right. Well, we didn't really say it.
Yeah.
But you're not concussed?
I'm not.
Do you remember the third lifesaver? This is unbelievable that I picked up on this. And this is what you're getting here.
Yeah.
What was the third lifesaver?
The third one, I was in Costa Rica with my family, and we were at hiking by Lake Arenal, which is in the center part of the country.
Sure.
And there was a big waterfall falling into a lagoon, but the lagoon wasn't much wider then the waterfall was huge. It was very wide and very powerful.
How high would you say?
At least 120 feet.
That's a massive waterfall.
It's a huge waterfall, and it was very wide. And
Wow.
so we're at the bottom, and it's a tourist attraction, so there's
Sure.
a bunch of tourists there, and there's signs up, don't swim in the water.
Yeah.
So people are at the edge, and they've got their feet in, and there's an estuary where you can...
What a word. I mean, that's going to stop a lot of people in their tracks hearing the story because they don't know what it is. I do.
Yeah.
They probably, a lot of them don't. But go. Who cares about it? You're on the roll, guy. You're on fire. So the estuary.
All right, so you can go in the estuary. So I'm
So I can't do this. It's a place where they run horses, an estuary. Go ahead.
And so there's a group of Asian girls, and one of them goes in the water, and she gets sucked. There's an undertow because of the force of the waterfall. She gets sucked under it.
Wow.
I dive in.
Yeah.
I go down. I grab her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I pull her out. I get her out of the water. Her friends are, taking selfies. And she doesn't even thank me. Doesn't even thank me. And so a bunch of people saw it. And I was with my family. We went back to the parking lot. And there was a bus full of kids that were from New Jersey.
Right.
And they had recognized me earlier because I had hosted a show on MTV at one point.
Right.
And they say, "Oh, we know you from Idiot Savants, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
So then we walk back to the parking lot, and the kids from Jersey all start screaming, "Hero!" And they started going, "Hero!" Because they saw me save the life. And I looked at my son. I said, "Are you seeing this? Will you remember this, please? For when I'm telling you to do something and you're saying, 'Dad, you're not cool. Dad, you're
a hero.'"
Nobody. I'm a hero to these New Jersey kids.
Now the Japanese girl that got sucked.
I said Asian.
Asian girl, was she was sucked under? Was she
Sucked under.
unconscious?
No, she was not in a concert. She was under the water, so she couldn't hear anything.
And was she struggling? Was she?
Yes, very much so.
And so she was incapable of swimming?
Couldn't swim. She was not a good swimmer.
So you had to literally go and pull her out,
Pull her out.
and saved a third life.
Yep. I feel like I should have gotten a tattoo for each one.
Yeah.
You know?
You still can.
Maybe I will.
And did she sort of half walk out of the water? Because it sounds like the other two, they sort of got up on their own volition.
No,
and
this
came
one
out.
I had to pull her out of the side. She just went limp.
It must have been cold there in my shadow. You're everything I've wanted to be. And I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my feet. Fly. 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 God, shit.
Come back. Harland, come back.
Sorry, I get so
We're here.
emotional. Give us number 4.
Well,
you
first of all,
life-saving whore. You lifesaver.
The wind beneath your feet, I don't think is as uplifting as wind beneath your wings. But I guess in Canada, maybe it's wind beneath your feet because you guys have much bigger feet.
Yeah.
And
And I left out the most crucial line. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. And I could fly higher than an eagle. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Fly, fly, fly. That sounded like a crow at the end.
Yeah.
Not an eagle.
No.
And give us number 4.
Number
this is
4
unbelievable.
was just last year. I
Oh
was
my God.
in Venice Beach.
By the way, remind me to never go vacationing with you near
Right.
water.
I know.
I think it might be you.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
That's where I went to
Neptune.
college. BU.
Well, BS.
And so I'm at the beach in Venice, and I'm out there, and I'm swimming around.
Yeah.
And the waves start to get big. And this was about 3 or 4 days before. Do you remember there was a big kind of hurricane in LA last year? Like
last
it was
year.
the first one. I've been out here 25 years. We
They
never had a
happened.
hurricane before.
Yeah.
So it was a few days
real
before.
anomaly.
I'm not familiar with anomaly.
She was the little girl on Little House on the Prairie. Her parents owned the bakery.
Anomaly.
Yeah.
Anomaly.
You are the wind beneath my ass, my cheek. How much is it to do a piss?
It's $1.
You're the wind beneath that,
Yeah.
little angel.
There is a little wind in the toilet in the plane, isn't there?
Yeah.
It sucks it right
Sort
out.
of like a big suck, almost like a breast pump.
It is.
Sometimes I'll lay down and put my tits on the toilet on a Delta flight
Yeah.
and just do a milk drop.
All right.
Because those are free, even on Spirit.
Well, and TSA won't let you bring the pumps on, so you got to
Yeah.
do what you got to do.
Gotta get your jug sucked
Yeah.
somehow.
Right.
Go ahead. So now you're...
So I'm swimming
Yeah.
around, I'm riding some waves, and they start to get very big, and there is absolutely a rip current. And so
Whoa.
I go, I'm getting in. So I start swimming in as hard as I can, but I'm not getting closer.
Yeah.
Like I'm in place.
Just it's like on a treadmill in the ocean.
Yes.
Wow.
And so and then I hear over my shoulder, I hear, help! And there's a guy behind me. And I turn around, he's got a shaved head, he's got on swim goggles. And I go out and I'm like, all right, just ignore him. Just save yourself. But I don't, because that's not me.
You're a lifeguard. You're a failed
hero.
lifeguard.
I'm a
Yeah,
hero.
you're a hero.
And so I go out and I get him in the cross chest carry. Wow. And I do the side stroke, and we're getting
Did he love it?
He loved it. Yeah. It is weird when you're saving somebody and they're pushing back, like they're,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's like, why do the mouth to mouth when you can go right to the side stroke Harry?
Well, we're not at the shore yet. Mouth to mouth is once you get to the beach. It's a little more romantic.
Got it. And there's probably a bottle of wine and a
Yeah.
blanket.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're side stroking Harry.
Side stroking Harry, and then the waves are hitting us and knocking us down. I'm finding them. I'm getting them back. 3 more strokes. Wave hits us. And I'm like, I literally get to the point where my muscles are dead. I can't breathe. And I'm like, all right, we're going to die. And that's when I reach down and I realize I can just touch my feet to the bottom of the ocean, but we're still getting hit. So I get behind him and I'm pushing him, and we're getting hit, push him. And finally we get to like below my tits. Yeah. And I realize, I'm like, all right, I think we're going to make it now. And that's when the lifeguard boat comes screaming in. A lifeguard jumps off the back, comes in and grabs my guy,
Your guy. Yeah.
starts taking him in towards the shore. I get sucked back into the wave. He forgets about me. What? And now he's not paying attention because he's in at the shore. He's doing mouth to mouth with the guy, which is weird because the guy was just fine.
Yeah.
It felt forced.
Almost felt like he was cheating on you in a way.
Little bit.
Because you had just finished doing the hard line Harry, and then now he's on the beach like 20 seconds later making out with a foxy lifeguard all oiled up, and you're out there, hey, what about me? I was just, we just did the crosshair chestnut or whatever it's called, and now you're with that guy, and just minutes ago I was doing the sideways salamander skin flap, or what's it called?
It's called a cross chest carry.
Yeah.
So
you get sucked off. You get sucked out again.
I think it's sucked off because
out.
then a lot more people would be in the ocean, I think. I think it'd be hard to even get in the ocean.
Yeah.
If you got sucked off when you went into a wave.
Right. Yeah. So now this guy's he's gone to Pleasure Island, and you're like getting the seas taking you, reclaiming you.
Yes.
And what happened?
Well,
you can't save yourself.
The sea was angry because the sea wanted him.
Yeah.
And I took him back.
You disrupted the flow of the ether.
So it needed to even it out and take me.
So how did you
So I
get out of there?
it took me like 5 minutes, and I finally struggled. I got in, and I got to where the riptide is still taking you out, but you're leaning into it. And I was trembling, and I was out of breath, and then I shit my pants, my underwear, my bathing suit. I shit.
That's $2 right there.
That's the spirit.
Dude, you saved 3 lives, but at the end, you saved the most important life of all. Greg Fitzsimmons.
Yeah. Right.
Dude, you are on fire today.
Jesus.
You've been on this podcast like 30, 40 times. This is the one that they're going to rewind.
Really?
This is the one they're going to talk about.
All right.
You are flaming. You're flaming. Like
I remember.
You're like flaming today.
Well, we talked about Cross-Chest Gary, and I'm supposed to meet him for a Frappuccino latte.
Oh, wow.
Two pumps.
Wow.
Yeah. In West Hollywood. But do you remember when the last time we hung out, I think it was in Pittsburgh, we did that great show at that amazing theater.
Yeah.
For WKDVE. Was that the station?
That was
KDVE?
it. Yeah, in Cincinnati. Yeah.
Nope, Pittsburgh.
Well, if you sing it.
Oh, there you go.
WKDV in
Cincinnati. And I remember it was the Stanley Cup Finals.
Right.
And we were standing backstage, and usually before comedians go on, you picture them in the green room. They're doing shadow boxing and breath work and looking at notes.
Stretches.
Literally 10 seconds before each of us goes on stage, we're staring at, there's about 6 of us crowded around an iPhone watching the finals. That was a good finals.
That was good.
Yeah.
Nobody was watching the show. We were just all watching the NHL.
Wanted to see Connor McDavid finally get one.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I know.
Well, buddy, can we just sort of, and what I do is I tie things together because life is cyclical.
Yep.
And what I do is I bring things around, and sort of what I want to do is kind of end the show to remind the folks of your wonderful comedy special. It's getting so many views. We want to get it more views. And outside of just views, it's hilarious. So talk to the folks last time before we wrap it up.
Well, it's called For Free, and it's Greg Fitzsimmons. It's called Life On. It's not called Life On. That was my last special. Yeah. It's called You Know Me. And I would love it if you guys check it out. It's getting really great feedback, which is another thing that makes it worthwhile, is just reading the comments from people. And super positive. People are donating, which you can, there's a donate tab. Which, if you enjoy it, throw $2 or $3, maybe $5.
Well, that's $2 you can spend on Spirit Airways.
That's
really.
True.
So
All
be careful.
So give me 3 and save 2.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing my FitzDog Radio podcast, which you were just on recently. You were great.
Had a riot.
And Sunday Papers, and that's it. But just so generous of you to have me on to promote the special, but just mostly to hang out and be together.
Dude, it's not even the special. If you notice, if you look at the history of, I think you're my second most visited guest, and it's kind of like you came right in at the cycle where your special popped up anyway.
That's right. Yeah.
So it all worked out.
Good.
And that's what I do. I was telling you earlier, there's a symmetry. There's some kind of connectivity that I create without even trying or thinking about it.
Amazing.
And even though I didn't go to high school and stuff, it just happens. It's so weird.
Why, is that something they teach in high school?
I don't know, but I didn't mean not know stuff. Others knows.
I wasn't going to bring up your nose.
Yeah, please don't.
It's kind of the elephant in the living room.
Yeah, it smells.
Yeah.
My nose smells. I know. Can you smell it? Wait a minute, your nose smells too. Go like this. Your nose smells.
Yeah.
Weird. Jesus. 2 smelly-nosed freaks.
I feel like I'm on Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, you don't want to smell on there. Folks, Greg Fitzsimmons, check out his stand-up comedy schedule. Go see him all over the country. Please check out his beautiful, hilarious special on YouTube. And, buddy, great to have you here.
Thanks, man.
Always a Siamese treat.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but a Siamese treat. And thanks for saving those lives.
Yeah.
I mean, the world, the world's a bit of a different place because you saved 4 human beings. Who knows what their contributions are to make this whole ball of wax move. So good for you, Lifesaver.
Right. Thank you.
You failed Lifesaver school, but you ended up saving 4.
And I think that's the lesson for people to take away from failure in life, is it very often leads to success later. And I think my career has been an example of that. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But eventually I'm thinking that down the road, this is all going to pay
Oh
off.
yeah, you got a crosshair Charlie coming to you.
Right.
Yeah. Folks, that's it. Until next time, chicken chow mein, baby. And we'll see you next time. Did you hear the music ended just perfectly?
Perfect.
That's part of what I do. It just, I don't even try.
Yeah.
Fly! Hey everybody, how would you like your very own personal video message from me, yours truly? It's your birthday, it's your anniversary, it's your graduation, or you just want me to make you laugh? You get to pick the topic you want me to discuss, give me some talking points, and off we go. You can get it for yourself or get it for a friend. It's super easy and fun. Just go to the Cameo app on your phone or to cameo.com. And I record a custom video made just for you or your loved one. Your very own personalized Harland.